Welcome back, guys. So, in my time of tutoring, I found that a lot of students that find this kind of topic of probability confusing. It's not just because this kind of topic is difficult, it's because of the language that they use in probability. Probability has its own language that once you understand it, you will find it easy to answer any question in probability. On this video, I'm just going to take a look at those kinds of fancy ways that they use actually in the probability exam. So I'm going to explain to you what does each and every word mean, where do you find it in a Venn diagram or in an information, and also how do you remember it. So without wasting more of your data, let me just get to the point. So the first one is this one, whereby they say, let's just take a look at, let's just take this kind of Venn diagram as an example. So the first question says that how many students takes at least one of the two subjects. This kind of word, at least those who know English by now, they understand what does this mean, but there is this kinds of people who does not understand any of this. So when they say at least one of these kinds of students, what they mean, this is the same as when they talk about or, and at least one is still the same thing. So when they talk about at least one, they mean students that are doing maths or science or both. Write this one down because it is very important. When they say at least one, they mean at least they mean students that are doing maths or science or both. So that's what they mean. So how many of them that are doing maths, science, or both? In total, this one is 5, 3 plus 3 is 11 in total, so which means answer is 11 people. So now let's just take a look at the second question. The second question says that how many students that takes only one subject? This question is different from the previous question. This one, when they say only one, what you have to note is that they mean they want the total number of students that are doing either maths only or science only. On this one, there is no both. You have to understand that and you have to write it down now. When they say only one, they mean the one that are doing maths only or science only. There is no both on this one. So here, if you can just take a look here at our Venn diagram, there is the one that are doing maths only is 5 and the one that are doing science only is 3. So in total of them is 8. So on our previous question, the one that is at least one, it means that you either do maths or science or both. But on this one, you only do maths only or science only. So which in total, if you see there in the Venn diagram, there is only 8 of those kinds of students that are doing maths only or science only. So that's what it means when they say only one. So the third one said that how many that takes both subjects. This one is very simple. The one that are taking both are the one that take maths or science. So where do you find them? Find them in the Venn diagram. They are the one that are in the intersection. This kind of line, that's where we find both. So how many of them is 3 students actually in total. So the fourth one said how many students that takes neither one of the two. How many students that take neither one of the two. Neither, it means none. Actually, you can take note of this one. It means none. So where do we find the one that takes none of this kind of stuff that are there? We find that kind of number of people outside the circle but inside the rectangle. Let me repeat this. Where do we find the neither? We find them outside the circles of our Venn diagram but inside the rectangle. Where here, sometimes it can be written, but as long as it is outside of this kind of circle, that's where we find the neither. So how many of them is 4 students? So sometimes it cannot come in this way. They will ask you in this kind of form whereby they will ask you to find the probability of absolutely anything actually that they like. So when they say the probability of M or S, what they mean here, this one is the same as at least one, or it means someone who's doing maths, science, or both. I want you to note that again because it's going to be very important for you. When they say they want the probability of M or S, so what they mean is someone who's doing maths or science or both. So how do we find the probability? The probability, we know there is this formula of probability of A is equals to NA divided by total number of sample space. So to find this kind of probability of this one, we're going to find the probability of M or S is going to be NM or S, divided by what? Total number of sample space, So the total number of M or S, where do we find it? We already calculated it whereby we talk about 11 of them, which is 11, divided by total number of sample space is the total number of this kind of total student that are here, all of them, including the one that does not participate, So since this one is 11, this one is 4, it's going to be what? 15. So it's going to be 15. So this is our probability of M or S, So did you see how we find it? Here we write the total number of M or S, and then this one is the total number of sample space. But what I want you to take away is that or, it means is that you are doing maths or science or both, So going to the third one, the second one, or on this kind of one of probability, when they say probability of M or and S, what do they mean? This one is the same as both, So this one, it means both, actually. You can note this one. So to find the probability, we have to find the total number of M and S, divided by the total number of sample space, So the total number of M and S is the one that include both. So where is both? Is this one is 3, which is this one. Where do we find this one? Is the one that we find inside that in the intersection place. So which is 3 out of 11. So going to the neither M or S, So this is the opposite of this question. Sometimes they won't ask you in ways, they will ask you in this kind of format, whereby sometimes they will say they want the probability of neither. The total number of people of neither M or S, that's how they will ask you. So to find the probability of this one, so it is very simple. We're just going to find the total number of people that are doing neither M or S, and we divide it with the total number of sample space. So those one are doing neither. So how many is 4 actually, which is this one is 4 out of what? Of 11. So this is how you are supposed to answer this. So I'm going to end this video here. On my next video, I'm just going to do a lot of examples that involve Venn diagram and how to answer questions. So make sure that you don't miss my next video. See you on my next video. Sharp.